Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, family? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and we're keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, thank you so much, as always, for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, your friend, Arrington Gavin, coming to you on this wonderful evening. We got a lot to tap into within this hour. We have a new elected pope. That's right. The Vatican had announced it. The new pope, the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first American pontiff, I believe that's it, Pope Leo the 14th. We'll talk a little more with that. And he has been elected as the Catholic Church 267th leader recently. So we'll share a little more with that. Also, Billionaire Mogul comes out as gay after decades-long marriage to, hear this, a woman. I think this is an interesting story I would love to share with you that came across my desk. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting story to share with the fam. So we will talk about that. That's kind of going to be in our pop culture realm of things. In addition to that, American Idol judge, music producer, X Factor judge Simon Cowell recently shared on a podcast he was offered a huge sum of money to judge I guess you can consider it an event. You want to guess what that is? I'll share that a little more in the show. And of course, we got some politics to discuss. Also, Bernie Sanders recently was called out from Fox News, Brett Baer's Fox News. So talk a little more on that. And if we have some time, I'll share some more things happening within our realm of things in the world of pop culture, not in the world of pop culture, in the world of politics. So if you could just stay with us for this hour, enjoy the ride, enjoy the conversation, kick back. If you're driving right now, just enjoy the ride and stay engaged as always. Look, my friends, I want to acknowledge those who continue to tune in and support the show. You can support the show on multiple platforms. You're probably listening to us right now on by way of WBOK 1230 a.m. Out of New Orleans. Shout out to our fam out there in New Orleans. Tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Or you might be listening to us in the Metro Atlanta area by way of WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or you're watching us. By way of our YouTube channel, streaming us right now on YouTube at the Arrington Gavin Show. Continue to subscribe, share with a friend. I truly appreciate that. We want to keep on growing those subscribers and viewerships on there, so I truly appreciate it. We're doing really great with our shorts, by the way. I'm seeing a lot of shorts in the thousands, and I'm like, okay, keep it up, people, keep it up. I appreciate it. I guess y'all like when I go on my rants. Also, Rumble, You can stream us on Rumble. Also, you can stream us on Goatverse TV. If you happen to, we're available on the Goatverse TV network. Do me a favor, you can download the app right now if you haven't yet. Well, if you're driving, be sure to pull over and then download it. Download the app. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And then lastly, you can also listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms. So multiple ways you can tune into the show. You can also follow us on our social media platforms, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as you subscribe to our Substack page, all under the same name, The Arrington Gavin Show. So I would appreciate if you all would support those platforms, because it's hard to discuss so much stuff within 1 hour. So I extend that those conversations on our social media platforms, as well as a Substack. So multiple ways we can extend the conversation and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that's about it. Your boy is still recovering. I'm still here in the home studio. I mentioned before, excuse me, I was recovering from some abdominal pains, in the process of getting that checked out, seeing what's up with that. Um but right now the recovery has been, back and forth. I've enjoying the time of rest, but would love to be, a full on 100%, because I haven't been in the gym as I wanted to. Just been really eating extremely clean, and just yeah, again, recovering. But I have a great nurse. Shout out to my lovely wife, Shier, for taking care of me, and our dog Carter. He's been also taking care of me too. So yeah, let's get it going with the show. Uh as I mentioned, we have a new pope. Let's see here. I want to start off quickly to share. Yes, we have a new pope. The new pope, his name is um Robert Prevost, American Cardinal Robert Prevost. Let me go ahead and share an image of this gentleman right here for those who are watching us right now and would love to see an image of, okay, who is this gentleman here? So yes, Pope Leo the 14th. Uh, it has been announced that he would take realm as the 267th pontiff. He chose the name Leo the 14th, a senior cardinal deacon, who had recently been announced. He's 69 years old, Chicago native, is the first American pope, and is seen as a diplomat in the church. Says here, this is the first greeting of the rising Christ. May the peace be with you, Leo said in Italian in his first remarks as Pope. This is the peace of the rising Christ. Americans in Rome react to the announcement. As here, Americans in St. Peter's Square said they were shocked and thrilled as the announcement was made of Pope Leo the 14th, who is the first pontiff from the United States. A lot of folks are happy. A lot of folks are very thrilled. I want to also mention that says here, William Jordan from Virginia brought his American flag down to the square. So many folks has shared there were tears of joy for Jessica Wood as the new pope was announced. Wood, a New Yorker whose 1 day trip to Rome just happened to go inside with the extraordinary moment in history. Who takes a 1 day trip to Rome? Just 1 day trip. Who does that? I ain't got that kind of funds to do that. I ain't got that kind of money to do that. But yeah, wanted to catch you guys up to speed with that. As you know, the previous pope had passed away at the age of 88. He had been ill for some time. But they had mentioned this, obviously had made the announcement of the new pope, but the new pope is very respected. I want to share a fun fact with you all. because we love to do our fun facts before we get going really with our headlines, but this kind of coincides with our fun fact. It says here that the brother of Sopranos actor helped elect the new pope. So Father Robert Sirico, the brother of Tony Sirico, who's played Paulie Walnuts in The Sopranos. I don't know if y'all are huge Sopranos fans like me. That was one of my favorite shows. All right, one of my favorite shows. So in The Sopranos, one in Rome, or excuse me, was in Rome for the conclave to elect Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost. That is pretty cool. And if y'all, for all you Sopranos fans out there, or Sopranos, Paulie was the one that had the unique hairstyle, right? The the black going in the middle, and then like the gray tapers on the side. I mean, he was the guy. Paulie was the guy. And I think Paulie in Tony Sirico, I want to say he had passed, I believe, a few years ago, but still all-time favorite character, all-time favorite mobsters, mob characters. Paulie Walnuts, one of my favorite shows, hands down. But that was a quick fun fact, and again, just wanted to keep you up to speed on the fact that there has been a new pope that has been announced. So again, you're welcome, friends. Let's go ahead, and we're gonna head to a commercial break. So do not go anywhere, my friends. We got a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healty beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new GOAT verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GOATverse TV.
GOATverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Well, look, let's get it going with some pop culture news. I wanted to mention, I wanted to share with you all, because it was just it was an interesting story reading. I'm like, I think this would be a great one to share with the fam. So check this out. Billionaire media mogul Barry Diller publicly comes out as gay despite decades-long marriage to designer Diane, I hope I pronounced this right, Diane von Furstenberg. Let me say that again. Diane von Furstenberg. Now, by the way, this billionaire is 83 years old. Talk about I guess the right time for him to come out, but I know it had to be a difficult decision to share with folks. But again, no one should hide these, just long secrets in general, right? I think it's very important. The fact, just it can be difficult, and hey, I commend this gentleman for coming out publicly, and especially, hey, at that age, it takes a lot of courage to do so. But let me go ahead and share this. This is reported by balleralert.com. Says here, billionaire Barry Diller, and husband to adorned designer Diane von Furstenberg, has come out as gay. In a deeply transparent New York Magazine essay titled "The Truth About Us After All These Years," Diller writes, "While there have been a good many men in my life, there has only ever been one woman, and she didn't come into my life until I was 33 years old." 33 years old. Says here, Dillard had married von Furstenberg in 2001 after years of an on and off again romance that began, check this out, guys, in 1974. 1974. He admits, "I had never questioned my sexuality, basic authority over my life." He says, "I was only afraid of the reaction of others." And this is just a lesson learned, set aside from your sexuality, but if you have any secrets, right, that's why people hold so many secrets. It's not a matter on um um how you personally would feel doing. We live in a world where we just cannot take the response from others, right? We just can't we worry about what other people would think. And see, like, I have a stage fright, right? I don't like speaking in front of big crowds, in front of crowds in general, but I can't stand public speaking. I have fun doing this program. You're probably like, Arrington, how the hell are you scared of public speaking? You do it pretty much right. Look, it's different when you're speaking behind a mic, right? This is my comfort zone. I enjoy having conversations one on one with folks. But if I have to speak in front of a crowd, it makes me really nervous. I mean, I get sick. I'm like, oh God. But the fear is not just the fact that I'm intimidated by speaking in front of crowds, but it's mainly, what will people think? What are people going to think about me, right? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to say, "Oh, he talks funny," or "What the heck is he talking about?" Like, I'm always thinking of what other folks think. Uh, Let me go back to the conversation. Not trying to get off sidebar here, but again, this gentleman was more worried on what other folks would think about this secret that he's held for so many years. Says here that, reflecting on his love for von Furstenberg, he writes, "Plain and simple, it was an explosion of passion that kept us for years. It really is a miracle of my life, despite being attracted to men," Dillard insists. "That was not a conflict with my love for Diane. I can't explain it to myself or the world. The couple, who never had children together, remain bonded." Now, the interesting thing is, does this technically make him bi? Because he's coming out as gay, but he's still married to, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's still married to Diane von Furstenberg. So it's like, what are we? What do what do you consider? And also, ladies, I want to ask you this, because this is not the only couple we have. Well, when you think about it, this could be other couples could be living with this secret, right? Um, we know, if we go back to like the Bruce Jenner and Kris Jenner, there was, I think, Caitlyn Jenner. I'm sorry, Caitlyn Jenner had told during during an interview that, hey, Kris knew of my, what I was going through and this and any other, but they still stuck together. Now they stick together for the sake of the family, for the brand, for the children. Like, ladies, my question to you is, if somebody that had been married for you for so many years, and to the looks of it, it looks like his wife knew of this. I don't think it was a secret. But let me read a little more. Let me read a little more. At the end, he got me, and I'm happy he got me. Which is you talking about true love right there. Talking about true love. Diller, who currently serves as chairman and senior executive at the Expedia Group and at IAC, sees his journey mirrored in younger generations. Much more fluid and natural without those rigidly divine lanes of last century. As for love, Diane Camp echoed a sentiment from authors Diane Chamberlain. The secret of honoring love and life is never lie. Rustenberg has not publicly commented on her husband's confession. I mean, love is love at the end of the day. Can I say it again? Love is love at the end of the day. They stuck strong through this whole years. Now, again, my question for the ladies out there or guys, I mean, if your spouse came out, how would you feel? How would you feel if they came out if they came out gay, but they're still very much in love with you and want to stay with you? Like, does that change? Does that seem like it's even if they kept it a secret, would that change the relationship? Would that change the relationship? Would y'all separate after hearing about that secret? Because again, this man is very much still in love with his wife. He's into men, but he's very much in love with his wife. So again, I ask you, ladies, fellas, if your wives came out and said, "Hey, look, I'm into ladies," what would you think? Now, don't be nasty now, fellas. I know y'all be like, well, don't be nasty. But I'm serious. What would your mindset be after years and years of together? What would you say to that? Would you still stay with the relationship? Would you continue the marriage and say, "Hey, look, we still love each other. Let's keep, we're not leaving each other. You're very much still in love with me. So hey, that's your secret. Thank you for being open. To keep it moving." What would be your thoughts? What would be your thoughts behind that? As I digress from this story in pop culture, I want to move it on to another story that caught my attention. Simon Cowell. Ring a bell? So the very popular he's known for American Idol, music producer. He's founded so many groups and artists and bands and all the above. He had recently shared, let me see, did I have it out? I don't think I have it out. Well, I'll share this with you all. So he recently had spoken about an offer he amount of money that he was offered to judge, because Simon Cowell he's been known for being that stickler of a judge, being blunt, very, very honest, not holding back. If he thinks you suck, he would say you are absolutely dreadful. It was the worst thing I've ever heard or ever witnessed in my life. I mean, that's what he's been known for. That's what makes the big bucks. Now, the older he's got, he's been kind of more mellow, I think. I think he's hosting America's Got Talent now. He founded the UK version of that show. He founded the X Factor, where he hosted American Idol for the longest. He's hosted so many shows. But he's always been known as that hard-nosed judge. So the interesting thing here, he shared that he once rejected $150,000 offered from a couple requesting him to judge them having sex. Yes, we live in a very weird world. I'm gonna tell you, we live in a very strange world. I quote, it says here, "This is my wife. Nice to meet you. Would you judge us having sex?" A fan asked, to which Simon Cowell replied, "Are you winding me up? I think that's what he said. Are you winding me up?" Simon Cowell is looking. This is a report about People Magazine. He was recently on a podcast called, I think, how to how to feel, how to peel. I'm not how to fail. Excuse me, how to fail. Recently, in appearance, the America's Got Talent judge, who's 65 years old. Wow, didn't know he was that age now. He's 65 years old. Reflected on some of his wildest fan interactions over the years. He quotes, he said, "People used to ask me to be rude to them. I mean, literally, they would come up and say, particularly in America, uh, will you be rude to me?" And I'm like, no. So I mean, that's what he's known for, man. That's like his brand. Another thing he mentions, then one time, it's a true story, says, I was in a restaurant and this guy comes up to me and he said, "Hey, I love your show. Would you take a picture?" Um, he recalled, after agreeing to a photo, the fan brought up an offer that was admittedly tough for the fame judge to refuse. "This is my wife. Nice to meet you. Would you judge us having sex?" the fan asked, to which Cal replied, "I'm like, are you winding me up?" Uh, then went, "No, we'll pay you." Oh gosh. It actually was a lot of money, he said. I thought, do I? See, that's the thing. Simon nasty too, because Simon was like, $150,000. Let me tell you something, y'all. Let me tell you something. For $150,000, I admit I'll say yes for 150,000. Shoot. Now I need logistics. Okay, how long is this time frame? Like, could this be like from for 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, or an hour? Still $150,000. 150,000. Jeez Louise. Y'all don't judge me. Y'all don't judge me. I got bills to pay now. Palms need to be greased. Okay, bills need to be paid. Shoot. Dad needs an upgrade on a vehicle. You know what I mean? Shoot. After finding fame as a record executive in the 1980s and 90s, Cal became obviously a household name for being the blunt, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes harsh judge on American Idol. He later lent his judging expertise to shows like The X Factor and America's Got Talent. Through his record label, Sicko Productions, he's helped launch the careers of artists like One Direction, Little Mix, Fifth Harmony, and Susan Boyle. In June of 2024, says here, Cal revealed he was on the hunt for a new boy band and plan to host auditions across the UK. He's also revealed that he was creating a documentary series around the whole process from auditions to forming the group. And on a subsequent appearance on Diary of a CEO podcast, Cal opened up about his decision to hold auditions for the next superstar group. I will say, Simon Cowell, the groups that he has founded, he touches gold. Like, I think the most famous one out of this group that I do, or just the list of folks that I mentioned here, One Direction obviously had garnered the most success, right? Why? Because each individual member has had a successful career of its own. Now, I know the most recent passing of one of the members, I know is truly sad, of what occurred due to mental health issues and addiction. But set aside from that, he has Simon Cowell has created and founded some of the most successful artists, and he knows it. He knows the stuff when it comes to the music world, and a good judging a good new upcoming artist, and very fairly too. But I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was very interesting. The stuff people would ask, the stuff people would ask is just, it blows your mind, right? It blows my mind. But I will say once again, for 150,000. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all a question. If someone offered you $150,000 today, right now, to say, "Hey, look, could you judge us having sex? Could you judge us? We'll give you 150,000. Could you judge us?" And don't be like, "Auntie, you going a little too." Come on, y'all better be honest now. Better be honest. Shoot. The nastiness, just nasty. All right, my friends, look, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. We're going to lean more into the political side of things. I know y'all been waiting for it, so just finished discussing the pop culture piece, and now we're going to talk some politics when we come forth after these commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show.
Jazarian Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarianLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
Hey, Dad, want to go for a walk?
Well, that'll help me get my steps in for the day. Gotta stay healthy and strong.
Bet you're healthier than me.
I'd like to keep it that way. Doc says I need to walk 10,000 steps a day. How long is that?
Don't know. How about you tell me a story instead of counting steps?
I could tell you about the house my father and uncle built for us.
That's a couple of thousand steps right there.
Staying connected keeps you going strong. Learn ways to stay happy, active, and independent at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
Hey, Dad, want to go for a walk?
All right, welcome back to the show, y'all. Welcome back. Let's get it going with our first in the political space. Let me go ahead and bring this up. So recently, U.S. Senator, independent, out of Vermont, Bernie Sanders, was called out by Fox News' Brett Baer on Brett Baer's show. And let me see if I can share this soundbite with you all, because it was in regards to the recent tour that he had done with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yes, I hope I said that right. My apologies, Congresswoman. But or AOC for short. They recently did a tour called Fighting Oligarchy Tour. And so Brett Baer had asked, look, it says here you spent $221,000 on private jets during this tour. So let me share a little bit of this soundbite with you, and then we'll talk on the other end.
From other people, Free Beacon says Bernie Sanders spent $221,000 on private jets fighting the oligarchy tour, paid for by friends of Bernie Sanders. That you've spent millions of dollars in campaign funds on private jet travel over the years. How do you push back on both of those things?
When's the last time you saw Donald Trump during a campaign mode at National Airport?
No. It doesn't. But he's also not fighting the oligarchy.
No. You run a campaign and you do 3 or 4 or 5 rallies in a week. The only way you can get around to talk to 30,000 people. Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United waiting, 30,000 people are waiting. That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. We've done it in the past. We're going to do it in the future.
And you think that this is hitting a mark? You think it's from other people? Free Beacon says Bernie Sanders spent $221,000 on.
So
private jet.
One thing what I love about Bernie Sanders, he's unapologetic, right? That's what you call them trying to corner you, trying to make you look bad, but he easily had a response to it, right? Now, I understood where Brett Baier was coming from, though. Who, again, I'm not giving credit to most of Fox News, but they do have a certain selected of actual good journalists, right? I will say Brett Baier is one of them. This fighting oligarchy tour is basically a tour where Bernie Sanders, who has always attacked corporate greed, right? Corporations, all these donors, this and that, all this big money, this big money, that. He's always been an advocate for that, and an advocate for the blue collar, the hard working class. So they're saying, how can you continue to preach this and have this tour called the Fighting the Oligarchy Tour, and you're flying private jets, spending $221,000. Now, you did hear they were donations, friends of him, which are basically supporters with money that are fans of Bernie Sanders, and it's like, hey, look, I want to donate this. I want to, donate this I want to pay for your travel, right? A lot of politicians, have that going on. Now, I think what was the wrong response that Bernie had mentioned, he said something in regards to when have you seen the president do this? I can't stand when people try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. I can't think of the word to save my life, but they try to, they're obviously avoiding it and say, well, what about them? If I do it, well, what does such and such do? I don't see him getting pressed on from that. But like Brett Baier said, well, he's not going on fighting oligarchy tour either. But Sanders, I think he caught on realizing that was a bad answer he should have shared, or should have said, and just said, look, we're visiting 3 different states in 1 week. We are visiting these amount of states in this amount of week. The only way you can do all of that travel within that week is flying private jet. He's like, you think I could do that commercial? You think I could do that? No, I wouldn't be able to. And he's right in that aspect. Now, even people could say, well, what if he takes a train? What if he has a tour bus? Why can't they just do this and this and this and that? I get it. And to me, I still think that my question would be, okay, why visit so many states within 1 week? Why just lessen the load and say do 1 per week? But at the end of the day, he is still, both of them are current elected officials that serve in the House and Senate, so they do have other obligations to do it. In order for them to to bring in that tour as well as still do their job, it requires, okay, we have to do some heavy, how are we going to do this travel and this and that and the other. So it will be difficult to do. But I just thought that was interesting. Now, I want to read this article from Mediaite because they put a little more in wording of this back and forth, the small back and forth that Bernie Sanders and Brett Baier had. So it says here that the question he responded was, when's the last time you saw Donald Trump during the campaign mode at a national airport? And Brett Baier said, no, it doesn't. But he's also not fighting the oligarchy, noting that Sanders has spent well over $200,000 on private jet flying during the tour. Sanders and AOC have been holding rallies across the country as part of the Fighting Oligarchy Tour. He said, hey, you run a campaign, and you do the 3 or 4, 5 rallies in a week. The only way you can get around to 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 talk to 30,000 people, Sanders said. You think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United while 30,000 people are waiting around? It's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. I think that was a fair response. I think voters could easily be tricked in that back and forth and of what Brett Baer and Fox News was trying to do to make Sanders look bad, because they're like saying, okay, you're busy fighting this tour, which is all about spending this, spending that, the overly amount of corporate greed, donations, this and that, and you are literally accepting over $200,000, and this will cost for your travel and all this other stuff. So I get what they're trying to do. Do I think that Sanders supporters felt betrayed, or even folks that went to go watch him felt betrayed by seeing this? No. I think at the end of the day, what they need to be talking about is, did y'all hear about the renovation of the Air Force One? Obviously when Donald Trump renovated the whole Air Force One to make it look more like his flying Mar-a-Lago with the gold this and gold that. I mean, to me, that is more to discuss, because they're using taxpayer money to renovate already fully furbished and well put together Air Force One plane. Why does that have to be changed? Does it have to be changed for every administration? So every 4 years it has to be changed? Like, give me a break. To me, talk about that, Fox News. Don't you was very close trying to corner Bernie Sanders there, but he gave you a honest response. Let's keep it moving. In addition to what he had said, he defended his current tour when asked if it's scratching the itch for voters unhappy with the current administration. He said, I think at a time when the people on top are doing phenomenally, when seniors, working class people are struggling, people want to hear action to stand up to the people who have the wealth and the power and create an economy that works for all of us, not just the people on top. Couldn't agree more. I recently, oh man, I was reading something where Bill Gates had said, like, in the next 20 years, I think he wants to give away like $200 billion and eventually, shut down his foundation. But he wants to give out $200 billion to various charities, causes, education, you name it. He wants to give. And I think, in all honesty, I think that's what a lot of the overly wealthy, I'm talking billionaires, if I feel like they should all come together, put a little money, put a little money in their pot, not money for them to go broke, but I'm just saying money that they can spare, and say, look, let's put all of our money together and just give this out to households in America. Maybe they can, each household could receive an added 25,000 or 50,000. I'm just saying something, a little boost would help, because I'll be honest, during the pandemic, I think the whole stimulus checks were a bit laughable, in my opinion, because it didn't do much. Folks were out here not working. Okay, they weren't working, so I don't know how that could really suffice some of that long-standing stuff, with no money coming in my opinion. Let me digress from this. Let me move it on. So recently Donald Trump, Lord have mercy, got him stuck in my head. Joe Biden was recently on The View, and he has been what's the word I'm looking for, doing different appearances, enjoying being out of the White House, typical non-presidential things, right? So he's, they're following up. Obviously, they're probably gonna do like a book or something. Him and his wife, they're still doing speaking engagements, still very much working and being in the public eye. But he was recently on The View, and he had shared he had a few things to share in regards to Trump's first 100 days, and of course they asked him questions in regard to the past election, and what would he want to do if he could? What would he want if there was anything he needed to change, or just his reaction on how everything is turning out currently. So let me go ahead and share that soundbite for you all, where he was at the table with the ladies, Whoopi Goldberg, all the ladies of The View, which is a pretty much a left-leaning show, majority liberal show, which praises Democratic elected officials 24/7. Let me go ahead and share that clip for you. This is former President Joe Biden on The View.
Knowing what you know now, do you think you would have beat him?
Yeah, he still got 7 million fewer votes.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people didn't show up. Number one. Number two, they're very close in those toss-up states. It was it wasn't a slam dunk. He's had the worst 100 days any president's ever had.
Yeah.
And I would not say honesty's been a strong point.
Why do you think the vice president lost, and were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. She is. She's qualified to be president of the United States of America. But I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman. She's this, she's that. I mean, it really, I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign. I think we underestimate the phenomenal negative impact that COVID had and the pandemic had on people, on attitudes, on optimism, on a whole range of things. So I was very disappointed.
Knowing what you know now, do you think
let me. So he first mentioned that he would have beaten Trump. That's the first thing that Joe Biden said, because he just said the amount of votes that was tallied in this election, there were way less than the election between him and Trump. I personally disagree with the former president, because again, we all voters, we saw that first debate between you two. It was a piss poor job to even keep him moving forward, to tease the notion of this guy has what it takes to run again for another 4 years. I'm sorry. The decline was there, and it was very visible for Joe Biden. He could not have done that. The strategy, if he was going to run, the strategy would have been like, okay, look, Donald Trump is running against this guy who can barely get a sentence out clearly at this point. Now, yes, he struggles with he has a stuttering problem, but again, it's not the stuttering that is the big issue. Throughout his term, there were moments seeing Joe Biden trip countless of times. One too many, right? Up Air Force One, on events. I mean, it's just falling off of a bike. I mean, there were so many moments where it was like, Lord have mercy, someone help this man. And so that was one factor. Two, folks just weren't all the way happy with the way things were going in the country. They weren't. Biden never had a lot of fans, especially in the black community too. Let's be honest. And neither did Kamala Harris, but it showed differently in this election because majority of the black vote voted for her. So that whole notion that when they were saying, well, she don't, a lot of black people don't really like Kamala Harris, I call BS, because voting numbers showed differently. Majority of black women and majority of black men voted for Kamala Harris. Now, were those numbers lesser than the last election? Probably, because it was a slight larger percentage of black voters leaning to Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, the large majority, the vast majority went to Kamala Harris. To say that she lost due to sexism, I think that is not all the way, it's not a full on like untrue. I think there's some truth to that because we live in a world where the sad thing is women will never get their due diligence and well respect to say, okay, look, women can lead the country. Women can lead in these high up positions. Women have the power. Women are extremely intelligent and extremely smart. But strategy wise, they shot themselves in the foot. The Democratic Party as a whole, her whole strategy team, they were not built to do. They were not doing their strategy right. Again, they all rewind the clip when she was on The View, and they said, "Could you do anything different with Joe Biden's administration?" Now I get it. She was still the current VP under Joe Biden. She didn't want to make her her president look bad. But at the end of the day, hey, look, you're running for office this time, lady. This is about to be your throne. So you gotta be upfront and honest with the people. In addition to that, there was clips of showing of her explaining how she's pro gender reassignment surgery for inmates. I mean, people are like saying, the majority of Americans were like, wait, what are we talking about here? I can't lean for that in this election. So it hurt her. So to say it was strictly due to sexism, I'm not going to say that was a key. It was a lot more other things why she lost the election. And I again, you know how vocal I've been going after Joe Biden, because for one, sir, you come in supposed to be a one-term president and you say you want to run again. See, he's not going to take the blame for himself. He's going to say, "Oh, I should have won it." Being a stubborn old man like we expected, he goes so far to the point where he opts out. And guess what? You give your VP 100 days when the average candidate, when they run for president, is damn near 3 years, 3 years of campaigning, maybe even more. So you give your VP 100 days. 100 days. You give her all of the wrong in the previous administration. All that's getting pressure is going towards her. You have your Democratic Party divided because they would have loved to see some form of a primary, because you have other folks that could have easily been a great candidate. And see, not everybody was keen with not everybody was overly excited with Kamala Harris. Yeah, you're excited about the fact that we will see the first ever woman elect, the first Asian American and African American woman ever elected. But let's forget about the records and the titles here. Let's talk about the position. And let's talk about the facts. The facts is that when Kamala Harris first ran for president, she barely even made it to, she didn't even make it to Iowa. Which, if you don't make it to Iowa, you don't have a chance in hell to even, why even continue? She did not receive the donors like expected. Why? Because maybe a lot of these donors just said, she's not the person I would probably lean towards in this race. So again, you left her in a hard position, Mr. President. So for me, I'm not buying the whole what he had to say. But it's all he can do is continue to talk in this case. But there's a lot more things that needs to be shared, and he needs to be more honest with folks. Says here, let's see here. White House vigorously pushed back on claims of cognitive decline in the final year in office. A lot of now tell-all books are coming out where they were like, "Oh, we were wrong. We definitely saw a decline. We saw a decline happening." It's of course he brought up that he's had the worst 100 days of any other president ever. He's talking about Donald Trump, which is true. Now, to Trump he's going to say that's a lie. That's why he wants the poster from Fox News fired, because the poster in Fox News came out with the percentage of, I think he has like 45%, which is the lowest ever for a president in the first 100 days. So, of course, Trump was like, "I wasn't fired. It's true. It's fake news. It is not true. It's fake news." news is fake. Biden has maintained he would have beaten had he stayed in the race. Again, I totally disagree with that. He accepted some blame for the election outcome because of voter concerns about border security and cost of living during his tenure. Again, I just, nobody will admit that I should have sat down. I think folks who've done it for years, and this man's been an elected official, I believe, since like what, 29 years old or 30 something years old until what, 83, 84, the age of 83, 84. So he's done it forever. Biden went on to criticize Trump's role in bringing down a bipartisan border bill and to tout the state of economy at the end of his term, including investments made in infrastructure and healthcare that he said would have boosted the country's future. Biden and former First Lady joined the co-host in the studio for the first joint interview since leaving the White House. The pair responded to recent reporting that Biden suffered cognitive decline and reflected on Biden's debate performance. Now, Biden also weighed in on Vice President's loss and what comes next. Now, I want to see if they respond to the decline. Okay, so it says here after Jill Biden joined the host and former president at the table, both she and Joe Biden pushed back against the slate in their new book for reporters, claiming that Biden was dealing with cognitive decline at the end of his presidency. Joe Biden says they are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that. Biden said the administration had found themselves dealing with the aftermath of the January 6th insurrection that happened at the Capitol, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic and other challenges left for them after the end of the first Trump administration. Look, I get it. The pandemic caused a lot of headache, mental health for everybody because they were cooped up in the house for days. People lost jobs, businesses lost a lot of money. Health, people were, a lot of folks did not make it through the pandemic year. I get it. January 6th was the worst thing that I ever witnessed in my lifetime, because you literally see crazy people, doing what their fearless leader tells them to do, and they just went and swarmed the Capitol. Crazy. So that stuff you see in a movie. All right. Jill Biden offered a forceful defense of her husband and responded to accusations she was shielding Biden from allies and the public. She quotes, "I did not create a cocoon around him. I mean, you saw him in the Oval Office. You saw him making speeches. He wasn't hiding somewhere." And Navarro said some went so far to describe Jill as Lady Macbeth and had Nancy Pelosi's daughter Alexandria in an interview with Politico earlier during this year. She then went on to say, "I was very hurtful, especially when some of those so-called friends." At the end of the day, friends, and I'm talking to you all, my friends, at the end of the day, they're never gonna fully take blame for anything. But I will say this: there should have been some stuff should have been handled. I will say this: stuff should have been handled during that administration, and I will just leave it at that. All right, my friends. Look, that is my time. I will see y'all next time for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Continue to support and all that good stuff. Stay safe out there. Peace and blessings. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.